Yep. Okay, so number 27. Let's take this one up. So even though this is an inequality with the greater or equal to sign, treat it like an equal sign. Move this over. So plus 6 becomes minus 6. So then you have negative 2x greater or equal to negative 8. What am I going to divide this side by? Brianna? Negative 2. So what's my final answer here then? X is less than or equal to positive 4. Good. Okay, remember when you divide or multiply by a negative number from this side, something that you move from the left to right, if that is negative, you do have to change the direction of the sign. So this became this. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 still gave you a positive 4. Okay, so somewhere around here, since it's less than or equal, it's a closed circle with an arrow going this way. Okay. Similarly, move that over to the other side, you get minus 12. So 0 minus 12 is just negative 12. And again, I am dividing by a negative number. So that means the direction of the sign changed. So instead of less than or equal, it's now greater or equal to. And it's 3. So when you divide it, the sign goes as usual. Okay, and you have this, something like this. Yep. I haven't thought of that yet. Maybe I'll give it in a multiple choice. So I'll give you the image and then you have to tell me which one is right. Yeah. Okay, so the 2-word problems. Sal and Ali are the leading scorer on the school soccer team this season. Sal has scored 4 goals less than Ali. The team has scored 24 goals this season. How many goals might Ali have scored? So let's do some variable. Let A represent number of goals Ali scored. How many of you defined your variables? Like writing what it represents. So I know that when I came around, I saw equations, but I had no idea what A and S stand for. So make sure you define your variables. Number of goals, because otherwise A and S doesn't mean anything. Scored. Okay, so now that we have our variable, we know what A and S stand for. Who has an equation for me? I know you guys did it. I saw you guys do it. Mahini, what did you get? Okay. Jennifer, how about you? What did you write? For word problem 1? So in terms of the equation, what did you write for the equation? Pass? Okay. Bella?
A plus S is less than or equal to 24.
A plus...
S is less than or equal to 24.
A plus S... okay. It's less than or equal to 24. Okay. And then what did you put as one of the equations for one of them? Saul has scored 4 goals less than Ali. So for Saul, it's going to be A minus 4. Yeah. Right? Okay. So then 2A minus 4. So when you move this over, is this right? Let me see. In the season, Sal has scored 4 goals less than Ali. The team has scored 24 goals this season. How many goals might Ali have scored? Okay, yeah. Okay, so when you move this minus 4 over, you have plus 4. So then you get 2A less than or equal to 28. So A is less than or equal to 14 what? What's my unit? Goals. Okay, so what is, if I were to ask you to write a therefore statement, what would my therefore statement be? Yep. 1 to 14 goals. I like that. Can it be 1? Yeah, it could be 1. Yeah, so therefore, sorry?
So we can score -3 goals.
Can Seoul score? Oh yeah, because Seoul.
How many players are on a team?
Yeah, it doesn't say. So that's the tricky part. You only know that they are leading scorers on the team. So these two questions are especially number 2. It's really good thinking beyond questions. So like these are kind of the questions that you'll see on the grade 9 math contests actually. So because Seoul scored 4 goals less than Ali, so what's the minimum number of goals Ali has to score then? Bella? Because if we said that Ali can't score just 1. Because if it's 1, then that means Seoul scored -3 goals, which doesn't make sense if they're the leading scorers. Yep.
It'd be 6.
6.
Because then if Saul has 2 goals and the rest of the team has 1, then it'd be 24. So 6 would be the 6 for Ali. And then
Yeah.
Saul would have 2, and the other team, the players on the team, may have 1.
But then, but the rest of the team would have 1. Yeah, good job. Huh?
How many are on the team though?
It doesn't say. So you have to consider that they either all have to have scored 0 or 1. So 6 to 14 goals. Okay, does that make sense? Because they are the leading scorer. So if we said that Ali scored 6 goals, that means Seoul scored 2, and the rest would have scored 1, because otherwise they won't be the leading scorer. And you know that the team scored 24 goals. If he scored 14 and Seoul scored 10, that means the rest of the team scored 0 goals, because you know that it has to add up to 24. Does that make sense? It's a tricky question because this is like a thinking beyond. It's like a math contest type. If you guys just got to here, that's good. This part where you had to figure out the minimum, this is the tricky part. Okay, and even some of my grade 10s are not able to solve it. Sure. Here you go. Okay, let's see number 2. So keeping this in mind, let's see if you guys can solve this one. At the end of the season, Seoul and Ali were the leading scorers on the school soccer team. Seoul scored 2 more goals than Ali. The team has scored 44 goals this season. How many goals might Seoul have scored? So same idea. So again, you know that A plus S is less than or equal to 44. Seoul has scored 2 more goals than Ali. So what's the expression? 2 more goals than Ali. Yeah, A plus 2. A plus 2. So you have it like this. The trick, when I came around, the part that a lot of you guys missed was Ali. So a lot of you guys just wrote this or just wrote this, but forgot Ali. He scored some goals too. So don't forget to add him in. So you get 2a plus 2 less than 44. When you move this 2 over, you get 42. So when you divide, a is less than or equal to 21 goals. Oops, sorry. And Pedro, what did you write for your therefore statement?
Therefore, I didn't do the same thing as I did previous time. I just wrote S is less than or equal to 23. Because it's asking for some mortality.
Yeah, good job. If you read the question carefully, it said it was asking Saul. A represent Ali. So if you know that A is 21, that means S is less than or equal to 23. Because remember, in total, they had to add up to 44. Right? But what is the minimum number if we apply the same logic right here? How many? It shouldn't matter. Like it could be n. Like it's another variable. Yeah.
It's 4 to 23.
4 to 23. How did you get 4?
Minimum goals that they can score more than it's like everybody scores 1 is 2, and then it's added 2 to it. Don't worry, it's 4. It is 4. It is 4. Because if Ali scores 1, then he's the same as everybody else. If Ali scores 2, then he has more than everybody else. But then that means Saul has to have 2 more, so it's 4.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so I like that explanation. I don't know if everybody got that. So he was saying, okay, so let's assume Ali scored just 1. If Ali scored 1, then Saul would mean that he scored 3. But that wouldn't make sense because the whole team scored 44 and they're leading scorers. So if Ali is also a leading scorer, the rest of the team has to have less than him. So can't be 1. So if Ali scored 2 goals, then that means Saul can score 4 goals, and then the rest of the team score 1, which will still make them the leading scorers. So that's why your minimum right here is 4 goals, and your maximum is 23 goals. Okay. So the minimum part right here, this is the thinking beyond part. Okay. On a test, if you write this is good. This part, the minimum part, will probably be like a bonus question on the test. Okay, because the minimum part is you do have to think outside the box for it. Okay. Alright, and if it still doesn't make sense to you, come on up after the lesson, and then we can go over it again. I can draw you diagrams with like little soccer players. Okay. So let's move on to today's lesson. As I said, very important lesson. Let's make sure we know what to do. Solving equations. We have 5 examples. Solving equations. Okay. On Brightspace, it's gonna say part 2, but on here, technically, we are on part 3 because. Oh, can I have my white out, Cindy? Okay. Okay, so on Brightspace it's part 2, but for us in class it's actually part 3 because I broke the last part into another part. Okay. So take out paper, pencil. Let's write down this note. Okay, all this is solved for x. Okay, we actually did a similar question earlier on Tuesday. Okay.
She's scared for me. But my mom likes to watch it over and over. For a that was so good. Salt?
No, I'm gonna do it with you now. Okay. So first step, you wanna move all variables on one side and move all constant on one side. Okay, so separating them. Don't forget to change the sign. Don't.
You have to write that down.
Up to you. This is just notes for you guys. Don't forget to change sign. Okay, so don't forget to change signs when you move something over to the left side or the right side. Okay, there's only 3 steps for this. Okay, combine like terms. Combine like terms. And then third is divide. Alright, so those are my 3 steps. Okay, so what's different with this equation than the ones that we did before is notice there's x on both sides. Okay, that looks messy. So let's clean it up by moving all the variables to one side and all the constant to the other. So usually we like to move the variables to the left and number terms to the right. Right? Don't forget to change sign. So negative 3x will become plus 3x. Good. And the negative 1? Plus 1. Good. So what's negative 4x plus 3x? Negative x or negative 1x? Okay. And then 5 plus 1? 6. So we just did the second. We just did the second step, combine like terms. Last step is divide. What are we dividing? The negative 1. Divided by the negative 1. So x equals negative 6. Okay. Does it make sense? Good. Okay. Let's try example 2. So again, solve for x. So we're doing 5 examples because each example is going to be a little harder. So we're doing it in steps. Oh, sorry. You guys couldn't see the question. Okay, so that's example 2. Okay, so this one has brackets. Okay. Distribute, 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 distribute. When I say distribute, what am I doing exactly? Yep. Multiplying. That's right. So when I say distribute, remember it means you multiply. Multiply, multiply. A lot of people still suddenly add, but remember distribute means multiply. So I get 4x minus 8 equal negative 6x minus 18. Okay. Now this example is just like example 1 now. No more brackets, variable on both sides. We do our 3 steps. So let's move this over to the left, and it becomes plus 6x. And move this over to the other side, and it becomes plus 8. Okay, it's not always plus. It just happens to be negative So it becomes positive, and then negative became positive. So 4x plus 6x. 10x. Negative 18 plus 8. Negative 10. So we combine it like terms. Last step is to divide. So I'm going to divide this by 10. And so x equals negative 1. That's it. Okay. How do I check to see if my number is right? Yeah. So notice, yeah, I do have two places where I have to put it. So what you want to do is do a left side, right side check. So a check means on the left side on my equal sign in the question, I had 4 bracket x minus 2. Right side of the equation of my question, it was negative 3, 2x plus 6. So now if I replace it with a negative 1, I get negative 1 minus 2. So negative 3 times 4, I get negative 12. What about right here? 2 times negative 1 plus 6. So I get negative 2 plus 6, which is 4. So negative 3 times 4, negative 12. Yeah, left side equals right side. I know my answer is correct. Right? Let's say on the test, you do this and it doesn't equal. What does that mean? You did it wrong. So, Sean, that means you should revisit the question and check your answer. All right. Which, by the way, your next test will probably be next Friday. Okay. Example 3. Y plus 2 over 3 equal 1/5 2y minus 8. Okay, so each one of our example is getting a little harder. So, Angelique, can I have your cell phone, please? You can have it at the end of the period. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so remember on Tuesday we did questions similar to this. Tuesday, 3 days ago, only 3 days ago. All right, when you have denominators, we want to get rid of it. What do? Yeah, multiply it by the lowest common factor. In this case, what is it? 15. Yeah, so let's times everything by 15. Okay, so times this by 15 times this by 15. Okay, 15 times a bracket divided by 3. So remember the little trick was if there's bracket, leave it first, simplify the numbers. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. So you have 5 times the bracket. Okay. Same thing right here. 15 times 1 divided by 5, 3. So 3 times the bracket. Oh, now what do you know? It looks just like example 2 now. See, each example I'm adding in one extra step. Okay, can you guys try to solve this one then from here? If you can solve from here, that means you understand example 1 and 2. Okay, try it. Let's see what you get. Don't look at what I'm writing. I want you guys to try it first. Okay, who has an answer for me? Here, I'll show this stuff.
36.
What did you guys get?
Oh, wait, I didn't. Wait, what?
Don't forget to change the sign when you move it. So this becomes minus 6y, and this becomes minus 10. Okay, Brianna, what did you get? Okay, another answer? Sean? Yeah. Okay. I think some of you guys, the mistake that you guys made was forgot to change the sign. Yeah, so 5y minus 6y is negative 1y. 5 minus 6. Yeah. So don't forget to change the sign. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll give you guys a second to find your mistake. Okay, 2 more questions, word problems. So just 2. Okay, so let's do the last 2. Okay, example 4. Easy word problems. Easy. Okay. The square. It would be good. It's short. It's not a paragraph, so don't worry. The square and triangle have the same perimeter. What are the dimensions? Okay, so here's your square. We'll call this 3K. And here's your triangle. And we'll call it 2K plus 1. Okay, so the square and the triangle have the same perimeter. What are the dimensions? So what you're trying to do is create an equation so that we can solve for K. All right. So how do I find the perimeter of a square? Side times 4. Good. Yeah, I can write 4 times 3K. Okay, or simply I could do 3K plus 3K plus 3K plus 3K. Same thing. How do I find the perimeter of this equilateral triangle? It's an equilateral. Yep. Yeah, so 3 times each of the side, which is 2K plus 1. Okay, I need to make an equation out of these expressions. All right, I need to make an equation out of this. So right now it's like 2 separate ideas. How do I connect it? Equal. Why equal sign? Have the same perimeter. That's right. Okay, so they're saying that they have the same perimeter. That means it's equal. Now looking at this is just like example 2. So this is 12K equal, distribute, so 6K plus 3. Okay. Move it over to the other side. Move the 6K over. It becomes minus 6K. The 3 is my only constant, so nothing needs to be done there. So it's just 6K equals 3. Last step, divide. So what is K?
1/2.
Yeah, a half.
Or 0.5.
Or 0.5. Good.
What, do you want it to be fractions or
I prefer fractions. If you do decimal, it's okay. Hey, will I get full marks? Why not? Yeah, if you read the question carefully, it was asking you what are the dimensions. So what you did was you just solved for K, but you never solved for the dimensions. So sub it in. 3 times a half, that means each of these side lengths are 1.5 or 3 over 2 centimeters or something. Okay, and then here, same thing, sub in the half. So each of the length is, how long is each of the length of this triangle? 2. Right, 2 times a half is 1, 1 plus 1, you get that 2. Right, so make sure you write down the question carefully. You read the question carefully. If you just stopped here, you would have got 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even though you knew what to do, but then you missed the most easiest part. Okay, last example. Last example. A number decreased by give me any number. 5, okay. Is equal to give me another number. 8 times the number plus another number. Actually,
10.
Actually, I want minus. Actually, no, it's okay. Okay, plus is fine. 10. Okay. Determine the number. Okay, so let's see how it could be a fraction. I think it's probably a fraction because you guys came up with the numbers, so it might not be nicely added. A fraction is still a number, so it's okay. A number decreased by 5 is equal to 8 times the number plus 10. Who wants to try giving me the expression? Remember on Monday we did a whole bunch of these? Yeah, we did a whole bunch of these on Monday. So, Brianna? X plus 10. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so literally translating each of these words into a number expression. Okay, move this over. Move this over. Don't forget to change the sign. So x minus 8x give us negative 7x. And then 10 plus the 5 gives us 15. So what is x? 15 over negative 7. That's right. Okay. Remember, you can write it as 15 over negative 7 or negative 15 over 7 or negative on the side and then 15 over 7. All means the same thing. Okay, so that's your lesson. You can see the similarity with the lesson that we did earlier. Only difference now is you have variables on both sides. But once you collect the variables, it's all the same. Okay, so just these ones right here, not a lot, only 4 questions for homework. I know it's a weekend. 3A, 7, 8, and 12 on bright space, equation solving part 2.
What?
Yeah. This one. 3A.
Oh, it's all bright space.
Yes, it's also on Brightspace. Okay, but which file on Brightspace?
Solving
Yeah, solving equation part 2. Okay, as I said, it's part 2 on Brightspace, but it's part 3 in your notes because I broke the lesson into 3 parts instead of 2 for you guys. So right here, this one, equation solving part 2. If you scroll down, you'll see our example. Okay, I changed this question up a little bit because I wanted you guys to come up with the numbers. So example 5 is a little different. These are the numbers, and here are the questions. Okay, don't forget, answers are at the back. Okay. So looking ahead, Monday, we'll do solve for variables, last real lesson. And then Tuesday, we'll do some word problems and review. January. No, it's combinated. Yeah. So, and then Wednesday, it's take your kids to work day. So if you're at work, then you're at work. If you're here, we'll be working on the review. And then Thursday, another day of review because I don't want people to miss it. And then Friday would be the test. Okay. As you can see, we did a lot on algebra. And we spent a lot of time on it because there were a lot of interruptions, assemblies, take your kids to work day, credit rescue days, all those. So that's why this chapter took a long time. Okay. Make sure you didn't forget what we did 2 weeks ago. Do the homework, try the homework. If you can do today's homework, that means you should have no problem with what we did earlier in the chapter. Okay, so try it out. These questions only you could finish in class and then you can enjoy your weekend. Okay? I'll upload the video.